What's up? How's it going? My name is Angelo, and in this video, I'm going to talk about literature before the emergence of Philippine literature in English. Let's get into it.
Minsa'y natuwa ang may likha, 7,000 pulo ang ginawa. Mga hiyas na inilatag sa malasutlang dagat. At kung bayan niyang pinili, nasa dulo ng bahaghari. Kaya't 1,000 kulay ng aking
Let's begin with the pre-Spanish period. Before the discovery of the Philippines, our forefathers already had their own literature, culture, beliefs, and tradition. The first alphabet used by our ancestors was similar to the Malayo-Polynesian alphabet. Pre-colonial literature is based on oral tradition. It has been passed through word or mouth from one generation to another generation. In terms of literary forms, first we have legends. These are forms of prose that talk about the origin of places, things, and so forth. Since it aims to entertain, the events are fiction and unbelievable. An example is the legend of the Tagalogs. It is very astonishing to read. Second is folktales. It is about life, adventure, love, horror, and humor, wherein there are lessons embedded in the stories. One example is The Moon and the Sun, a Tinguian folktale. Third is epic. These are long narrative poems about heroic achievements or events. A common Ilocano epic is Biag ni Lamang. Another is Kumintang, a Tagalog epic, and many more. Another is folk songs. Folk songs. These songs replicated the early forms of our culture, and usually they have 12 syllables. One famous example is the Kundiman. Kundi man tayo pwede.
What you say? Oh, that you only meant when.
For other forms of pre-Spanish poetry, we have epigrams, riddles, chants, maxims, proverbs, and sayings. As an interesting information, some of the records that our ancestors had left were either burned by the Spaniards, believing that they were evil works, or written on materials that are barely preservable. That's why they perish. Okay, let's move on. Spaniards came into our heritage in the year 1521. However, based on my research, the Spanish colonization started in the year 1565 and ended in 1872. So they stayed for about 307 years to be exact. It is one of the longest occupation that happened. Before they came to the Philippines, they already have set goals. These 3 G's are gold, glory, and God. They brought tremendous changes with our literature, culture, and tradition, wherein the Roman alphabet replaced the first Filipino alphabet, Alibata. And the basis for religious practices was from the teachings of Christian doctrine. So in terms of literary forms, first we have the religious literature, which includes Passion and Sinaculo. These were used to teach the Filipinos on how to speak the Spanish language. Passion is a long narrative poem about the passion and the death of Christ. On the other hand, we have secular literature or non-religious literature, which includes awit, corrido, and narrative prose. An example of awit is Ibong Adarna. For corrido, we have Florante at Laura by Francisco Baltasar. Speaking of Francisco Baltasar, he is one of the notable person in the Spanish period. Others are Jose Rizal, who wrote famous and political novels No Limitang Here and El Filibusterismo. Also Andres Bonifacio, who was a Filipino revolutionary leader, which his movement KKK sought the independence of the Philippines from the Spaniards. Another prominent persona is Leona Florentino. She was a Filipino poet in both Spanish and Ilocano. She is considered as the mother of the Philippine literature and the bridge from oral to literary tradition. There are a lot more of notable Filipinos in this period, but I would like to end right there. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want any clarification, just comment down below. And if you are interested with Philippine literature and learn more about it, you may read them online with the links in the description section or in the caption section. With that so, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Keep safe.